it would make a lot of sense, like you said, like that. Just as when I go to an online shop and I buy, say, a phone, I get offered to buy protection for my phone in case something happens. So it would make a lot of sense that most platforms start integrating that same protection as an option for people when they're buying crypto. What do you think is standing in the way from these practices being adopted more often?
Well, there's a principal agent concern, right? If I'm selling a car with seatbelts, does that mean the car isn't safe?
No.
You know?
Well, we know not, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that was the original argument, right? If I put seatbelts in the car, that must mean that the car's not safe, that I'm chilling the marketplace. So there's the issue of that. Then there's the issue that, you know, a lot of projects that have the capital don't necessarily want to be deploying the capital into risk pools. They'd much rather be, you know, deploying the capital into project growth, you know, into marketing, into, you know, into development and expansion. So, you know, it's one of those many categories. And until, you know, insurance is out there and, you know, proves itself reliably, and not all insurance pays, I think that that's been the crypto markets, you know, experiences that crypto insurance pays some of the time, not all the time, and not always when people want it to. Until there's this, you know, this expectation of performance, you know, or reasonable performance, I think that you're going to still have, you know, projects saying, you know, we'd rather direct the money toward building our way out or marketing our way out of the security or the privacy or the risk concerns.
Okay, yeah, but I mean that makes a lot of sense, because so far we've yet to see one major case that's covered by insurance, right?
You know, I can't necessarily think of one.
Yeah, so I guess like it needs to become more prevalent in our culture, but as well, like you said, we don't want to think about the negative things, right? We don't want to think, just like we don't want to think about getting sick or breaking a leg or whatever. It's just a unfortunate part of our nature.
No, it's what happens.
You were mentioning something very interesting to me at this point, because I've been thinking a lot about how we tend to search for the wrong metrics in our work. And I see a lot of people, particularly in crypto Twitter, now that I'm getting personally a lot more involved in there. I see a lot of people that would be like tweeting all day long about Monero, ADA, Ethereum, just like chilling a coin all day long, basically. And I get thinking about how, if I'm becoming the same thing with my podcast, right? Or if I'm becoming the same thing with another thing. So what do you think are some good values or good visions of success or metrics or of success that people should be searching for in crypto, apart from, well, the obvious number go up?
Well, I mean, we should be looking at, you know, inclusion. We should be looking at diversity. We should be looking at functionality and utility and adoption. You know, the more useful crypto is, the more people are going to be using it, the more you'll see different faces, you know, at the table with different inputs, different concerns being met. I think that, you know, we should be measuring this in the form of education. You know, it's very hard to find, you know, good people to be able to do this work. I think that there was just an article on Yahoo Finance about how Solidity developers are hard to find. You know, that needs to drive its way down into, you know, into the workforce, you know, because there are lots of people who still don't have jobs, you know, coming out of the pandemic. So I think that, you know, I think the inclusivity, you know, of the conversations, the breadth of the conversations, the utility, ultimately being able to find, you know, coins in daily use, daily commerce, you know, those are the things that we should be looking for. You know, we're looking to transform, you know, economies. We're looking to transform the way that people interact with each other and providing, you know, goods and services. We're looking to, you know, break down a lot of barriers, you know, to, you know, information access and storage and, you know, the preservation of privacy. And I think, you know, decentralization has a lot of these things. It's not just about token price. You know, so if you look at a project and you say, well, if your mandate is this, how much of that have you really done? You know, how's your community growing around that? Those are really the questions, those are really the questions I think to be asking.